Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to be telling you all a story about self-discovery. In a hectic and fast-paced world, we often don't get the time to truly introspect and learn more about ourselves. So this story I'm telling you all about today follows a young girl named Anya. Her whole life, Anya has just been burdened by these fears and anxieties and all these expectations that were just piling upon her. And then one day, she finally realizes that true self-discovery is only possible when we stop running away from our own shadows. So this story is called The Shadow That I Became, and the shadow is symbolic to our own fears and anxieties. The rain had just stopped, leaving the world bare, glistening, and waste. Anya walked down the narrow lane, her shoes splashing softly in the puddles, and a small streetlight cast a light upon her that caused her shadow to trail beside her as it always did. I mean, that seemed to be the only constant in her life, her shadow trailing beside her. She could never seem to escape from it. It seemed to encase all her anxieties, all her fears, all the darkness within her. She could never seem to escape it, no matter how hard she tried. But tonight, something was different. Something seemed different. I mean, she looked at her shadow, she looked at her reflection in the puddle, and she realized that maybe she doesn't have to see herself this way. She looked at herself, really looked at herself, and she realized that she was just completely human and uncertain and tired. So she looked at her shadow and she hoped to gain a new perspective. Her whole life she had just been burdened by these expectations and these fears. In fact, she had learned to live beneath these expectations. I mean, her parents' expectations on one hand, there were society's judgments on the other hand, and to top it all off, it was her own fears and anxieties. She could never seem to escape. But tonight, she really looked at her shadow and she realized that it doesn't have to be all of that. She looked at her shadow and she realized that she could really see the truth within them. She saw not darkness, but light, somehow. She could see every scar, every battle, every small act of courage she took upon herself within that shadow. And then she realized that she had finally gained a new perspective. And she realized that you can only gain true self-discovery and you can only learn more about yourself when you stop running away from your own shadows. And this time, when the rain started again, it was soft and forgiving, as if the heavens shared their feelings with Anya. She spread out her arms and let the rain wash over her. She really felt at peace. She felt complete in a way, in a sense. And she realized that, her shadow doesn't have to be all that. If you gain a new perspective on life, and if you see the beauty in those things, then perhaps you could live life better and you could get a better quality of life. She had not escaped the darkness, she had merely made peace with it. And in doing so, she had